Good morning, Aaron. Aaron
Morning.
Taylor. How you doing, sir? You well?
I'm well. I can't complain. How are you?
I'm blessed always. Can't complain at all. All the better for speaking to you, sir, because you've got new music, haven't you?
Yes, I have. I've just released a new single last week called Shooting Star.
Shooting Star.
Yeah.
With Benny Sings.
That's right.
I know you released the visuals as well, so that must be quite a considerable step towards, the big project which comes later in the year. We'll talk about that in a second. But how are you feeling now that this track's out, it's done, people are getting to experience who Aaron Taylor is, like myself, for the first time?
Yeah, no, it feels great. You sit on music for quite a while, and that whole time you're sitting on it, you're just wondering what people will think and so on. But yeah, it just feels great to finally release it. And Benny Sings is a great guy as well, so it's an honor to have worked with him.
How did that collab come about? Did you guys know each other already, or?
No, that's something management made happen. I was aware of his music and I was a fan, but management were able to reach out and they had a connection there, so that's great.
How do you describe your sound, Aaron? What's your motivation? What's inspired you to be in the position you're in now?
You know what? I try and make music from a very just honest place. I'm just a regular guy. I say it all the time, but I just grew up on gospel music. My sound is kind of groovy. It's kind of funky, but very soulful. And yeah, it just comes from an honest place.
When did you start singing? When did you first find your talent?
I started properly trying to record my own songs around maybe 14. And obviously at that age, you're it's trial and error. You're just trying to figure out your sound and learn and so on. But I started releasing music properly in 2016. Yeah.
So what was it that made you say, actually I'm gonna stay the course with this. I'm gonna pursue this and take it on properly?
I just had songs that I really believed in, and they felt like I've always just wanted people to hear them. Like I didn't feel like they should just stay on my computer for me in this little room to hear. So it was just just something I always wanted to do. Just get music out there. Actually, I didn't always want to be at the forefront. I was happy to be, a background producer or songwriter, but there was just no one really around to sing the songs I'd written, so I just decided to give it a go myself.
I'm trying to work out the point when you believed in your own voice. Who told you were good, bro? Like, what made you confident? Did you get what I'm saying? What made you confident?
I still question if I'm actually good. But no, what point? I don't know. I think I've just always loved singing. I've always loved writing. And sometimes you just got to do what you love, and not really focus on too much on whether someone else is validating you.
Listen, you're singing the words right off of my own hymn sheet. When I got the press release from your management, your team, just kind of putting me onto you, one of the lines that jumped out from a quote from you was that Black lives don't just matter, they also have meaning. I guess we're in a climate where everybody wants to put out there how they feel about, being Black. So what was you getting at with that line there?
So, I think Black Lives Matter is a very valid phrase and sentiment, and I'm not knocking that at all. I just don't want to reduce. I think because you quickly hear counters of all lives matter and stuff like that, and not only do we matter, but when I say we have meaning, we have a lot to contribute, we have a lot to add, we have a voice, and so when I say Black lives don't just matter, we have meaning, it's all of that combined. It's all of our beautiful addition to the world that I think needs to be valued. And sometimes I don't know if Black Lives Matter covers that sentiment fully, if that makes sense. Just the phrase.
Yeah. Who is Aaron Taylor? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up
Where
in
are your
South.
parents from? What's
I
your
grew up in,
background?
yeah. My dad is from Ghana, and my mum is half Antiguan, half Ghanaian. Um, and yeah, I was born and raised here, southeast London, Greenwich. That's where I kind of grew up. Um, uh, and now I live in West Dulwich. I was in Brixton before. Yeah, so just a London guy, but always been in South.
So outside of music, did you see yourself doing anything else, or was it always once you
Never,
decided it was going to be that?
never. I can't imagine what I'd be doing if it was. I mean, I like other things, you know.
Mm.
I'm into photography. I'm into films. I like creative stuff, but in terms of vocation, music was the only option for me.
I see a big piano just there by your side.
Yeah,
There, you play. Yeah, is
yeah.
that you good, or is it just a couple chords for the track? Like,
It's just for this video. It's just decoration.
how long have you played? Have you always played, or are you
Yeah,
self-taught? Or
I played growing up in church from around 10 years old, and yeah, just learnt by ear. I had a few lessons along the way, and yeah, now it's my main instrument. I dabble on guitar a bit, but not strong enough for live shows. Just
so
record it.
your track that's out now, what do you expect in terms of, you know, how it's going to be received? Do you have any expectations, and do you care about all of that? Because it's clearly obvious that you're a man who needs little validation along your way. You're trodding your path, doing your thing.
Yeah.
What constitutes success, I guess, is why I'm asking that question. And bearing in mind you've got Icarus, the album, coming out in September. What's going to happen from now till then? It's a very different year to what everybody expected in terms of what we can and can't do.
Yeah, I mean, I think anyone that says they don't care about how their music is received is probably lying to some extent. I mean, I get where people come from, but yeah, you always hope that it does well. You hope that it gets, you hope that existing fans will love it. You hope that new fans will come on board. But yeah, it's a strange climate to be releasing music. A lot of like these songs, or all of these songs, were written, before 2020 even began. And 2020 is obviously the strangest year I've ever had. And so, yeah, I'm not going to pretend that it speaks exactly to the current climate, but at the same time, I know that there are themes there that will resonate with people. You know, the album talks about, you know, intimacy and wanting to be close to someone quite a lot. And in this day and age of social distancing and, you know, not being able to see people, I think that takes on a whole new meaning. But yeah, I hope people connect to it in some way, considering the current climate.
11 tracks.
Yeah.
Why did you call it Icarus? What was the meaning behind the name?
So Icarus is a story I heard in school, obviously the Greek myth, and it was always a story that I just found fascinating. I think he gets a bad rap sometimes for, you know, his ambition, wanting to, you know, fly basically. And, you know, I think he gets a bad rap for flying too close to the sun, and everyone tells him stay in your lane. But I don't know. I think as a aspiring musician and someone that wants to like make it, as it were, you know, I felt like I could relate to that story and wanting to, because he was actually locked up at the time that he wanted to fly. So I get the whole like wanting to escape confines and just be free, and you know, what young boy hasn't dreamt of flying one day? So yeah, it's just a story that resonated, and you know, there's a lot of themes in that story: father-son's relationships. I've just become a father now myself, so yeah, it's a very it's a story that once you tap into it and the whole Icarus complex and stuff like that, it has a lot of deep meaning.
Congratulations on becoming a father.
Thank you.
Special time.
Thank you.
Was you there?
I was there, thankfully. Like there was a bit of worry that I might not be allowed in because of COVID, but I wasn't allowed in until she was in active labour. But yeah, I was there and saw the whole thing. It's a beautiful
Did
name.
did it do for you what it did for me? Did it change the perspective of your woman? Did you love her even more?
Of course, of course. There's only one right answer to that question.
I mean, true, but I just wanted you to.
No, I know what
This
you're
is your
saying. No,
chance to put it
yeah,
on the record,
yeah,
Aaron.
yeah. I know what you're saying. No, you know what? Like, truthfully, like, already you respect women. You know, I was growing up in a single parent home in London, so I already had a lot of love for women because of my mother and my two sisters. But yeah, there was a whole newfound respect for particularly my woman, and you know, just what they're able to do. And we're really unnecessary sometimes, you know, or 9 times out of 10 we're really unnecessary. I mean, this baby can be fed without us, and she natural instinct just kicks in, and she knows what she's doing. So I take my hats off to all of them.
Does that give you even more impetus? Does it make you go harder now and focus you even more on your career and maybe some of the things you wanted to achieve?
Yeah, definitely. It makes you really consider what matters and what is a waste of time, and is this good not only for me, but is it good for my child? And you know, what am I going to leave behind for him? And how can I make this world a good place for him as well?
Who else would you like to feature with musically, Aaron? I mean, I guess the world's your oyster these days. There isn't nobody you can't really touch. I guess some people are easier to access than others. But in terms of who you'd like to work with, what would some of those names look like?
Man, I get that question fairly often, and every time, you know, the list is endless. You know, you've got your icons like your Lauryn Hills and so on, and your D'Angelos, and then you've got your up and coming people like, you know, Tiana Major 9, who's amazing. So yeah, just there's a lot of great talent in the London scene at the moment. So we'll just see. I'm down literally for whatever with people. I just love to make music.
Away from music, what's making you deep think, Aaron? If you could give us an insight into your character away from music, or maybe a facet of your character that makes who you are, what's making you deep think at the moment? What do you ponder on?
I mean, obviously it's hard to ignore what's going on in the world at the moment, especially now that I think I'm viewing a lot of things through the lens of being a father now. So even these conversations about race and so on, you have to check yourself, because now you're going to pass on your views to your child and help shape his opinion as best as you can, and it causes you to really think. So, you know, I'm not ignoring the conversations that are happening at the moment and trying to just find my voice within them. And it's been interesting watching those unfold. But yeah, fatherhood is on my mind a lot at the moment.
I guess, and I'm asking, this is my go-to question of the month, really, in terms of what's making you deep think. That's fine. What's making you love? I guess the answer is obvious in that respect. Your newborn child must be making you love in a different kind of way. Would that be where all your love's focused at the moment?
Yeah, I'd be lying if I said there was something else. But yeah, I mean, he's only 8 weeks old, and I mean, yeah, he's still, despite the sleepless nights, he's still the biggest joy and love in my life at the moment.
You never sleep the same again, Aaron. I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but sleep as you know it is finished.
Oh man, I was hoping that, you know, after a year or so I'd be back, but yeah, apparently that's it for life.
Sleep is finished. Yeah. So just, you know, I wish someone had told me that. Like, that's the biggest thing you miss. You don't ever sleep like you did when you weren't a parent, but
yeah,
I guess the reward is far greater.
It's
Listen, it's been a pleasure talking to you, man. Where can people find out more about you, follow you, kind of latch onto your music, what's coming next?
Yeah, so my website is aaron-taylor.com. I'm on social media, Instagram, Aaron Taylor, and yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, all the usual places. Just type in Aaron Taylor and you'll find my music there.
Shooting Stars out now. What's next? What's the next track you're going to release? Can you even tell us that?
Yeah, I think I can. The next track is called Be My Muse, and it will be out in July.
Okay, cool. Well, we look forward to covering and reviewing that. But for now, thanks. Really appreciate your time. And
So much for your time. I remember going to the library as a kid and reading the Voice newspaper, so it's a big honor to be on this platform.
no worries, man. Pleasure having you, and we'll keep supporting. So thanks for your time again. Appreciate it.
Take care. See you.
Look after.